Is it your style, or is it just something that you chose for this event?
They're a little quirky. They're different. They're underrated. I love the weird ones, you know? We got Volcarona, we got Beautifly, Masquerain. I'm repping the bugs always.
That's wonderful. And how about Pokemon Unite? Do you rock anything in particular?
Well, I'm a little bit of a Serena main, but Goocher's my boy. Goocher is my boy. Those are my favorites.
I love that. So we have a defender and an all-rounder. Quite different styles.
Yeah, totally. I like to change it up. And sometimes I'll do support. I love my girl Blissey. She's cool. You know, gotta help the team. Be a team player.
Can I be your Blissey?
Please. Will you? Can we play right now?
Yes.
A match made in heaven.
Yes.
We're gonna slay.
Oh, we're so gonna slay. Just like Aegis, Flames, and Peru unite in this next match. Back to you, Costas.
This is definitely going to slay. And you know, the quirky ones, the different ones, that's, I think, Unite in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, if you were into those style of Pokemon, I think pick it up. Bug types, I think we all were requesting a few more. However, one that has been making a name for itself.
Great segue.
Yeah,
great
so
segue.
much. Thank you. I'll be here, well, not for too much longer, just for 2 more days. I can't believe the World Championship is almost over. But a Pokemon like Scyther has also been tearing it up, is where I was eventually getting to with that one.
You should have pretended you were going to talk about Buzzword.
Yeah, that's true. But one thing we did talk about right before we cut to that interview was where is the Zeraora ban? It is absent from this draft. However, Aegis Flames have thrown in the Blaziken, a Pokemon with less than 1% ban rate on our tournament.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty surprising that it's been that low, considering it's been doing really well across the entire weekend. That Secure has been super key to a lot of teams winning. We saw LG use it extremely well. But actually looking at the picks, it's a lot of common picks that we've been seeing. One that I think we've talked about a little bit less this weekend is the Mamoswine, which has gone through a whole lot. There's a lot of options for the defenders right now, but we've been seeing it. You can see 20%, which is relatively high for that kind of like second-tier defender.
I think it's also going to be showcasing why maybe we didn't see the Zeraora ban outside of Peru. And I think Mamoswine is actually an incredible matchup into that particular. And yeah, Aegis Flames, all of their damage is going to be coming from these melee all-rounders, and of course a speedster in the case of Zeraora. So we're going to have a lot of up-close personal damage. That's going to be really tough for them to kind of avoid Draken's terrifying Ice Fang. I mean, I talked about how Peru Unite is a story team. That's one way to do it. And yeah, why not just throw in the Armorers? We got the Charcadet Bros on opposite sides.
I was going to say, I don't know if I've ever seen in a tournament match both of them on the opposite sides. They're actually also on their own perfect, like, purple and orange side.
Wow.
It's pretty perfect. This is accurate, lore accurate match.
Production, the script is getting a little too easy to tell that it's scripted. If we could, just throw in a few twists maybe. But yeah, no, it's some really interesting stuff in this draft. I think Peru Unite really doing their homework on what Aegis Flames likes to play, and specifically how their strategies play out on the map, and trying to counter that. So a strong focus on anti-melee fights. We got the Mamoswine for the Ice Fang, Clefable just for that big pocket healing, and then Armarouge is basically this great counter pick that's starting to see not a lot of play, only an 11% pick rate on our tournament, but we have seen the evidence of it doing extremely well into these brawl-style compositions.
Right. One thing as well that I think needs to be watched out for, though, and kind of like the opposite direction, is the Clefable being so dependent on everybody being around you means that there are some huge AoE plays that could be made from the side of Aegis Flames. Specifically, I would say maybe some of the Unites could be gigantic. We've seen, I'd say this weekend, a few plays. Oh, wow, they went right into it. That was extremely fast. But we've seen some plays so far this weekend that have just torn entire teams apart.
Yeah, it's true. And of course, you're talking about that Sarah-led Unite move that has this huge hitbox hitting multiple targets at a time. One of those kind of soft answers is a cleanse, some kind of full heal or something. However, there's no other support Pokemon on the side that could do that. Clefairy having amazing healing, or sorry, Clefable once again evolved, but has amazing healing, but will not be able to cleanse that Sarah-led kind of timed damage mark.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there are a few other things as well. I mean, the Sarah-led would be the scariest, of course, if it does fully land. We've seen that literally wipe entire teams. But Hoopa can, of course, stun big, gigantic circles of people. Zeraora itself can do just a lot of normal damage. And then Snorlax, honestly, you usually use it a little bit more defensively, but if everybody's stacked up, it can launch an entire team.
Yeah, we have seen some really proactive offensive Unite moves from Snorlax in the past. It's kind of a do-it-all Unite move sometimes when you just flop on the ground and get that big shield, so we're going to be looking for forward to seeing what Atharas can pull off with this Pokemon, especially against such a world-class defender in Draken. I know Sprinkles and Duke Snacks have gotten the chance to cast over Peru Unite matches a lot, and they love talking about the support of Kea and the tank of Draken. Nemo going in for the offensive pressure, but we're also pushing here on bot side.
Yeah, pushes from both sides, or I should say in both paths from Peru. However, they're getting pushed back up top. Anemo just trying to escape. A great counter engage from Tempo, who, oh my goodness, is barely escaping. Tries to get chased down using the middle beat for a little bit of mobility, but not going to be able to catch. And that healing, like you said, it is huge. It is some of the most, I guess, concentrated healing in the game. It is so incredibly fast at pulling you back up. You just got to be close.
Yeah, and not to mention when you get that plus upgrade of it, it just AoE becomes gigantic.
Yes.
It's covering just entire areas of where team fights are going to be going on. I like Tempo's play on the Lucario there. We are going to power up punch. We don't have access to our second move yet on Lucario, so we find a way to weave in that damage. I think they were kind of hoping the boosted auto after would get themselves the KO. Comes up a little bit short, but they do make it safely back. Lucario's passive in Steadfast really helping it out in the early game, and I think one of the major reasons why this matchup with Buzzwole versus Lucario is actually going so well for Peru Unite right now on the top side. Problem is, Aegis Flames has a big successful push as Anemo goes down. Leafeon KO'd. Aegis Flames dumping in points into tier 1 on bot side.
That's a lot of points, and especially with Hoopa, they've got to be careful of that. You get a little sad on the bottom. Both Peru and Aegis sit at 71%, but Peru with 31 more games played. We have a hat count coming next game.
Okay,
are we getting spoilers?
Okay, well, all right. Well, I do love that we have incoming warning of these lower thirds. I love that a lot. But wow, what impressive win percentage for both these squads.
Yeah.
Aegis Flames having quite the tournament run, but Peru Unite a bit longer of a chance to be playing in these events, clearly. These Hoopa portals from the Ocean are going to be pretty important, specifically around the basement and Regieleki battlefields. You can see Snorlax already trying to take up space. Peru Unite taking this one a little bit slower, as Anemo is actually going on a bit of a central area invade for experience instead of trying to fight over the red steel.
I like that idea a lot. The rotation ability from Aegis is so strong from Aegis Flames. Ooh, but they are going to all rotate down to the side of Peru Unite, trying to push down this tier 1. Tons of damage here, just all on top of this pad. They're going to have to back up. Even with the potential of maybe getting some players down, it seems like they timed it really perfectly as Aegis Flames are actually pushing down the top tier 1 on the other side. So not enough members to come down and help. They will be breaking this pretty exactly, I think, right there. Like 5-point overdunk, something like that.
Yeah, I was honestly shocked that they didn't do it earlier. I saw Simon sitting there with 7 points, but against the Hoopa team, you want to do that as early as possible. Shatter that tier 1 goal zone. But I saw there Anemo wanting to get just a couple more attack weight stacks on that Leafeon, wanted to knock out one more ball toy before you break. And they were able to do so and rally back for the Regieleki defense. Aegis Flames not going to take that line down, though, as they're pushing towards this tier 1.
Ooh, I like this thought. They're going to go in really, really far. Buzzwole starting the initiation. Big Unite coming out. That's going to be 1 KO already on the Swinub. Double altogether, and that should be a third with, oh, well, I was going to say with Zyna's going down, but hold on, they're actually managing to escape really, really well. Then, especially the extra damage of the birds is actually starting to add up. Finally manages to catch all the way down, but that was a pretty good delay as far as things go. One more target with Tempo on that Lucario, who most likely won't be able to escape. Yeah, finally getting KO'd, but delayed long enough that we are going to get some revenge KOs as Anemo comes back into the fight.
Yeah, I mean, Nemo stacking up this attack point. Oh, what an eject button earthquake combo from Draken to finish things off. And Nemo going to be stacking up the Excel Bracer by 1 point with that assist. But either way, clean little comeback from Peru Unite, but certainly the major win in that team fight going over to Aegis Flames. A lot of big knockouts. Tempo on this Lucario really trying to kind of push the limits of this Pokemon, find these KOs in pretty dire situations. I think so far it hasn't worked out in their favor, but they are keeping pace on levels, at least with their roster, slightly behind Aegis Flames right now.
Oh my goodness, just exploded right there. That's going to be a double for Mats, maybe going for a triple. Oh, yep, 3 all together. Actually, maybe a 4th up there as there's a 1v1 happening as this Regirock is going down very quickly. And oh, finally a little bit of an assist. Oh, the Unite, I think, maybe connecting. I'm not sure if that connector barely missed, but regardless, they're both going to get out of that. Oh, maybe a little bit too risky. Some damage coming in the other direction. The Armor Rouge definitely could melt both of those melee Pokemon just by standing close to them.
Yeah, and Matt's just getting this discharge shield becoming such an important factor in a lot of these engagements, allowing them to just barely escape getting KO'd, and then of course get some of that return damage. And yet again, Lucario getting punished. Let's Unite hits 3 targets, sets themselves up for a KO streak of 2, but that's just so far. Making a triple as Draken and an MO trying to create a little bit of space, looking for the last hit of the Regieleki, but it comes via the Ceruledge.
Wow, they do manage to get it, but then once more, we're going back to the chase game. It feels like there's been a lot of just chasing within this game, especially maybe like right after some of these team fights, but Anemo doing a great job. Being able to kite using Razor Leaf is such a strong, nice skill to have is what I was going to say for playing that Pokemon, but they do finally catch, and things just seem to be going the way of Aegis Flames altogether. It's not like it's a one-sided game, but they're ahead in most areas.
Yeah, they are. I think right now Peru Unite has been relying, though, a lot on Draken's Mamoswine to achieve anything in these team fights. It feels like it has been an uncharacteristically quiet game from both Anemo and Tempo, who have not found a way to get a good shutdown on what Aegis Flames is trying to pull off. I think this Zero Aura Ceruledge, I have to imagine this Brazil squad is kind of surprised they got it in the draft, and they had the chance to play it, and so far it's been looking amazing. Big Unite like you called out, Zero Aura having some clean plays, so exciting so far.
Yeah, couple huge Ceruledge Unites. They've been looking really good. Another thing that I was talking about, I talk about this at every tournament, I feel like. I don't fully understand still why we see so much priority on Lucario from a lot of these teams.
We've been talking about that a lot today.
Yes, but I talk about literally every tournament. I feel like we have this discussion, but I was just talking about it to some of the other casters too. I feel like that's not. I mean, Tempo's an amazing player, we know that, but I always feel like the impact of Lucario is a little bit low compared to a lot of the other picks you can see around it. I mean, obviously Blaziken was banned, but that's an option. Serena does some similar things. That's an option. Buzzwole obviously on the other side. But we'll see if maybe I eat my words here as we're getting down to the final stretch. Relatively close in score. Level 15 already on Aegis Flames, though. That's 2 levels above anyone else in the game.
And a latent Regirock buff on Aegis Flames as well. So a bit of damage reduction due to those bonus defenses. To Aegisflames at level 15 on this Ceruledge, by the way. He's going to try to threaten, and then here's a pull. They actually grab the Clefairy first, and the Buzzwole gets the first KO.
Oh, already 1 down. We are going to be uniting from Draken in the middle of the pit. Everybody just on top of everybody. I don't even know what got that last hit. It was the Armor Rouge of all things. Peru managing to grab it, but only 3 members up. And certainly Draken's shield is already down. A few members low on the side of Aegis Flames. 1 member running up to score in the northwest side. And it looks like they're getting stopped. That shield is so close to being broken. An inch away. They got it in. The lead now going to Peru's side.
Yeah, 2 games is able to kind of crowd control Zinus for a little bit, but can't break that final piece of shield. There's still over a minute left on the clock. Aegis Flames with a very remarkable team fight. Maybe they lose the Rayquaza, but not a lot of Peru Unite walking out of that fight with Rayquaza's shields. There is still room for Aegis Flames to rally back and take the point lead.
The biggest thing here is they've got a decent amount of time to build back the Unite move for the Hoopa. Hoopa, as far as Unite moves, is one of the biggest comeback scoring Unites in the entire game. And they don't need that many points. If they actually keep small points in their pockets, that would be beneficial. It's almost unfortunate that they've got 50 in pockets for 3 of their members.
Yeah, they at least have a little bit of time on the clock, so a team fight is still available. 10 seconds on the respawn timer for Zinus for this Armor Rouge. Draken going to be the first one to rally up. Kea there as well. The support core, the first line of defense. Ceruledge Unite hits every single defender at the exact same time. Unstoppable for the Snorlax, looking to get that push as Mamoswine is already down. Make that Kea as well. All 3 down. Just the Armor Rouge, just the Leafeon left to defend. But still, Aegis Flames has not found an angle to get these scores in. Hoopa too low. Anthorus needs to make it back to the portal, but all they can do is run.
Hoopa's running to the top path. There's 5 seconds left. They need to get it in. There's somebody on pet. No, they're not going to be able to make it. And Peru with the comeback taking game number 1 just barely.
Zinus with 2 hero plays on that Armor Rouge, not only securing the Rayquaza with what I have to imagine was that Psy Kaboom Unite move right on top of the Rayquaza pit, just out of the melee range, charging up with a huge explosive psychic attack to knock that one out, but then respawn